The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Media Mash coming your way, your weekly visit with the Dallas Cowboys media. And we've got Clarence Hill, most trusted, All City Dallas in the house. Make it sound five. Joe Hoyt. Got a frat?
What's up?
Got a fraternity?
No, I ain't got no frat.
You just rolling, just being Joe.
He a DLS frat.
DLS, Delta,
DLS frat.
what's L?
Delta Lambda.
Delta, Lambda, Sigma.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right,
We got there.
I'm Newy Scruggs, the dog team. Okay.
And
So,
who we waiting on? I'm just saying we're not.
So
we're not
you
done.
wanted a fall guy, and now you're throwing him under the bus.
I'm not throwing him. I'm just saying we got a fourth member that's coming. He's just not here yet. He's on his way. That's all I'm saying.
Selective.
Okay.
That boy is good.
Clarence, boy. You waste no time getting your shots in.
That was not a shot. It was a fact.
You'd have been a great
That was a shot across the bow.
That was not a shot. It was a fact.
Hey, sure, it was clear and plain. We could have just rolled the show and not even mentioned let it
Roll,
slide on, but you
roll,
okay.
roll.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. Are the Cowboys done in free agency? That's where we start the show today.
What have they done in free agency? Let's start there.
Brought back Dante Fowler.
They got biggest external
They
free
brought
agent.
back a man who had 10 sacks last year.
10.5, wasn't it?
10 and a half,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
no.
On the playoff team. They went to the NFC Championship.
And then nobody
Who
nobody
you know?
wanted him for free agency. And he cried all on Twitter.
He made it known. He wasn't happy.
Why you snorting? What?
You bring the cheap shot, boy.
Every time. Every time.
Joe,
Gosh.
What?
have we not noted the fact that he was complaining on Twitter for the first few days of free agency about the season he had,
Oh,
all
yeah.
these guys getting money, and he wasn't getting money?
No, he's like, look at my pressures, look at my salaries. Yeah, there's a difference.
I mean, it was a fact.
He was
then
mad
he
about
came back to the Cowboys.
And where did that
Dan
lead you?
Quinn, then he went to D.C. with Dan Quinn,
Right.
who
Right
was a
back
guy
to me.
from Jacksonville and guy in Atlanta, and then Dan Quinn left him hanging, came back to Jerry.
But they're not done in free agency.
Okay, they're not done.
What have they done is the question.
I just said something. They brought in a guy that got 10 and a half sacks.
Okay, let's reset it then.
Guys,
The Cowboys did nothing in free agency last year. This year they've been active and replenishing the roster, even though Jerry said they had no voids. They needed to fill in free agency, but it looked like they've been filling voids like a mofo.
yeah, a lot
They
of
got
voids. that they
two
fill.
running backs, two linebackers. They showed up, at least got depth on the defensive line at end and at tackle. They traded for a cornerback because they don't know if Trevor Diggs is going to be ready, and they lost Jordan Lewis in free agency. And then they added a receiver in Paris Campbell. Sound like they fill some voids.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that's what made it ironic from the very beginning about how they didn't have voids, is because if you looked at how many guys that departed from the roster, they simply had to add guys just to fill out a 90-man roster before training camp. And so they've done a lot of that. I actually think what they've done in terms of answering a lot of questions with at least guys that you can have until draft picks maybe come in and compete with them, I think they've done a good job of adding depth in some places. I just didn't like, personally, the timing of it. And that's been kind of one thing I've been hammering is, while you're prioritizing depth pieces and rotational guys and a bunch of, maybes in certain areas, other teams are out there going for their big fish free agents and trying to sign big ones. And so I think when you restructured the way they did, I was kind of hoping that they would kind of use that money to take a big swing. And ultimately, the biggest swing is a guy about a week into free agency who's a guy that you already know in Dante Fowler, who just kind of came back.
Okay, I'll just throw this out here as we do this show in Frisco. Cooper Kupp, they tried.
Who is they? Define they.
That was good. That was good. Dak and CD tried.
What? I'm just stating facts. Facts are not shots.
Okay.
Who is they? Yes,
We know the quarterback, Dak Prescott, and
the receiver.
top target, CeeDee Lamb, did make contact with Cooper Kupp to try to get him to the Cowboys.
And they made, this old school recruiting. They called him up. As soon as Cooper Kupp got cut by the Rams, they called him up and tried to recruit him to the Cowboys. That's awesome. CD said, I can't do it by myself. I need help. I want help. One reason why I helped the Cowboys out by restructuring my contract, even though that was already a trigger in his contract. But listen, I need help. He's acknowledged I need help. Dak needs help. Something I talked earlier today about. You look at Joe Burrow, okay, who, when he signed his contract, the richest quarterback in football, right?
Yes.
And what the Bengals did, they went and got him the richest receiver in football or paid the richest receiver in football and have another receiver making the highest paid number 2 receiver in football. Okay, they went and got him. They didn't say, yeah, you make all this money, then you need to make it work with less. And they went and got him help. And and Dak and CD were trying to get them help. Okay. And the Cowboys were interested until they found out the asking price of a mere $15 million. And they said, we got McDonald's money at home, or we ain't got no McDonald's money. We got McDonald's at home. We signed Paris Campbell to a bargain basement contract and let Cooper Kupp go to Seattle.
They also had interest in Dre Greenlaw, and that just ultimately was a price tag they weren't willing to go. And I keep thinking of, there's a quote, and I don't know, I'm not going to say verbatim, but the GM of the Dodgers basically says, hey, if you want to be rational with free agency, then you're going to finish third place in those negotiations every single time. And I think eventually you kind of have to make some irrational moves in terms of how much money you're going to spend. There's risk there. But for a guy like Cooper Kupp, $15 million is not a lot of money.
Yeah, not when the top receiver's making 40 and the other receiver's making 30 and 35 and you got a second receiver making 28.
Yep.
$15 million for a third receiver is not a lot of money. I talked about it. I've been trying to talk. We have to retrain our mind what's a lot of money. Okay, we have to retrain our mind what's a lot of money because all of it's a lot of money to me on my poor reporter's salary. Okay?
Not on that DLLS salary.
Yes, it's a lot of money.
Poor reporter salary.
No, tell that to somebody else.
It's a lot of money.
You bought a birthday gift for the first time in 20 years. Your money good.
No, you don't know the backstory. Anyway, the bottom line is all of it's a lot of money. Okay, but again, is that really a lot of money? I mean, what did you clear the cap room for? You didn't clear it for Micah. You did not clear it for Micah.
Maybe you cleared it for somebody other than had 3 leg injuries and don't play more than 12 games a year.
Who?
Maybe it's just because you got money. That's why we stay broke. Just because you got money don't mean you need to spend money.
Hey, who's talking?
Jack Taylor.
Oh, Jack Taylor.
Hey,
9 minutes.
I come in firing, baby.
Who's talking?
I'm sorry, JJ Media Group.
We gonna introduce Jack. He just come in and just start talking.
Hey man, I don't need no introduction.
Who is this?
Come in shooting shots at people. I mean, okay, hey.
No, when I started on the beat, we was winning Super Bowl, so I know what the teams look like.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Jack. Glad you can make it.
But again, what's a lot of money? What did you clear the cap room for? And you say maybe for somebody else. Well, who else? Show me.
Maybe they don't. Just because you have money, don't need to spend it on guys like. Maybe they wanted Devontae Adams. He's an older guy who can play. Yep. But that's I mean, Cooper Kupp. He's all right.
Carrying the water.
Don't carry the
Is that what you said? That's a little water. That's a little water.
Carry the water. Go keep carrying the water.
Really? Really? I just don't like paying age. That's all.
You don't like winning either. If you co-signing with them, it's 30 years. We have to do something different. We can't.
So let's go.
We can't have these tempo things.
I mean, they could do something different. They could get a real guy who's not over the hills to play, but they don't like. Do you
know Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp the same age?
One of them can still play. One of them I have my questions about.
Okay, but they didn't go after Devontae Adams because they didn't want to pay 20.
They don't want to pay nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
yeah, chime in.
And this is, I think I know the answer, but I'm just going to ask this. Do they really think Mingo's going to do something for them this year?
They can't. I mean,
no.
They're hoping.
And I asked that.
That's a hope.
I asked that in the sense of, if you feel like this guy can't do anything, then don't you push some chips in on Cooper Kupp? Like, hey, but
they got Paris Campbell, sir.
I'm talking about Mingo.
Yeah, Bucket.
Mingo. They gave up a 4th rounder for Mingo, and one person in the building told someone that I know that they thought Mingo had an opportunity to be better than anybody that could get in the 2nd or 3rd round of the draft this year.
Well, I mean, you add in the fact that, yes, this draft class is actually not great at receiver. And the top end guys, there's still some questions about. And, do you want to take one at 12? That might be too rich, depending on who it is. If 44, there might not be a good one there, because they might go in the middle between those picks. It's not a great wide receiver draft class. So I think that idea kind of has merit, but nothing Jonathan Mingo has shown us in 2 years suggests that he could be a guy that could be your number 2.
Yeah, and I think that guy may have a little too much dip on the chip when you talk about the second round, maybe the third round. But there are guys you can get in the second round. Luther Burton is probably a guy you can get in the second round that would be better than Mingo. I mean, let's be honest. Mingo ain't done nothing. He ain't peed a drop since he showed up in the NFL.
I was going to say, I don't even have to go there.
He's not as done as much as Paris Campbell has done.
And he ain't done nothing.
Well, he had one good year, I think, with 900 yards. But I'm just saying.
So let me just throw this out here. Just looking at mock drafts, you see a lot of people putting running back to the Cowboys. A lot of people put wide receiver. If, according to you, Joel, wide receiver's thin, do you take a guy at 12 and try to go get the running back later? Or do you say, hey, Ashton Genty or Mario Hampton from North Carolina, do you go and get the running back since you say you want to be a running football team, and if you're running the ball, you're controlling the clock, you can help save your defense?
I think in terms of value, the best path is to take a wide receiver at 12 and then circle back with a running back at a Travion Henderson. Maybe Omarion Hampton falls. I don't think it. I think he'll be a first-round pick. But I think because Ashton Genty's probably going to go at 12, value-wise, it doesn't make sense, but I also don't know from an instant impact perspective. If Ashton Genty's there, I'd take him because I think that that's a guy that could start for you, that could be a guy that...
I'm proud of you because I thought you was finna go down this analytical positional value thing and pass on Genty at 12.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And I think they'd have a tough...
for you.
Thank you. I think they'd have a tough...
You've shown some growth and development.
Thank you.
Why you look like that, man?
Well, you just analytical. I don't pay age. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you have
it's different
these different philosophies that you stick to. I mean, people have philosophies they stick to.
I'm flexible within my philosophies. That's why I've been married twice.
I think the fascinating situation is if Ashton Genty's gone and Tedero McMillan, if that's your number 1 receiver, he's gone. Then you're like, okay, we're at 12. We're going to try to trade back. Well, a lot of people want to trade back. The value might not be good there. So we're going to stick here. And you know what? We love Omarion Hampton. Why don't we just do it there? Or it's like, we love another receiver or we want to force things here. I think things can get very interesting at 12 depending on how the draft falls before him for the Cowboys.
So traditionally, we have seen a running back gives you an opportunity to have the biggest impact as a rookie than wide receiver.
Yeah, but I think it's then it becomes on how your board is stacked. Is Omarion Hampton, is he significantly better than the other running backs? Or is he just a tad bit better than the other running backs, and then the receiver is the better player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we have to stick the best player available. And I don't think that Hampton will be the best player available at 12. Hampton is forcing a need at 12.
In a deep running back draft where you can get
you're forcing a need to. I just don't think they will do that. I don't care how many times
you like the corners.
I don't know how many times that Mel Kiper has mocked Hampton to the Cowboys the last 2. We'll see what he does on the next 2, but he's done that. But I just don't see them forcing a needed running back at 12.
Let me ask you this. What if you dropped at 15 and then you take Hampton and you pick up a...
Who's trading with you?
Well, he just said if you get a trade, I would love to trade.
Like what you did with Micah. Think of it in those terms.
No.
I'm going to move down. I still have my need, but I'll move down and try to fit.
To me, if Genty's gone, I would love to trade back.
Okay.
I would love. I don't care if Ted is on the board. I'd love to trade back. I love the trade back option because picking up another pick.
But what if trading back is just kind of delaying the inevitable and just kind of let's let everyone else figure out before we make our pick? Because the only thing I think you're going to get if you go from 12 to 15, you're not getting like a third rounder. I don't think you're going to get a desperate team that's going to trade an extra pick. You might be getting like, all right, we're going to pick up another 4th in 2026.
You think a trading back in the first round gets you a 4th round pick?
I don't think this year. I think the market's bad for it. I think no one because there's so many middling picks.
It's about what you see and what you want. It don't matter.
Well, to me, it's not the market. It's what are the what the trade charts say. It's what the chart says. And what does the chart say to move back 3 or 4 spots or in the first round?
But desperate people make charts irrelevant, and then I think also not desperate people
you brought up
do the same exact thing in the opposite way.
You brought up. Can somebody look real quickly? What did the Cowboys get for trading back when they got Parsons? And they traded back 2 spots, right?
Yeah, 2 spots with Philly. And
last year, 24 to 29, I got an extra 3rd, which then was Cooper Kupp or Cooper Beebe.
Right. So 24 to 29, You got a third.
No, I hear you. What I'm saying is throw the chart away because I think that
Nobody
there's
throws the chart away, bro.
I'm throwing the chart away because I don't think the value is going to be good.
They don't hear.
No, I know.
Well, I'm just saying
and that's why I don't think they're going to actually trade back.
Well, I'm just saying if they traded back, they're going to trade by the chart. Is all I'm saying.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
And I'm saying I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying, and so his point was trading back. What can you get? And so if you are getting a third round pick at 24 to 29, if from 12 trading back, you may get a second round pick, or you may get a higher third round pick. I'm just saying, and to me that would be worth it if it happens.
Here's
That's
my
all
last
I'm
thing.
saying.
I think
hypothetically,
I think you're gonna make a lot of calls on that, and you're gonna get a lot of silence because I don't think a lot of teams are gonna.
No, that's fine. But hypothetically, if you could make a trade back, I would do it.
Jerry's done this before. The Roy Williams draft.
6'8".
They wanted him. Kansas City came up because they wanted Ryan Sims from Carolina, the defensive tackle, and they did. So Jerry will entertain it, and then without having a 4 this year, I do wonder if he will be open for business somehow if they say, hey, look, we got a couple people that we like here. Let's get our first break in here. Jacques Taylor, join us for the rest of the show. Full segments. Glad you're here, man. Glad you're here. Jacques Taylor, Joe Hoyt, got Clarence Hill.
I can't tell.
This is the Media Mash right here on DallasCowboys.com.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take your steak, cornbread, cobbers, pot pie, and potatoes, and next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash coming to you from the Star in Frisco, where currently they are having the Big 12 Pro Day over there at the Ford Center, getting things done.
Is it the really Big 12 Pro Day when the big guys ain't here?
Man.
Yes.
Both things can be true.
Yes, it is. Because the big guys are only going to be at their place anyway. There's certain guys that don't look for them. They're not going to be there. You should know that.
I mean, I'm just saying, Tet ran yesterday back in Arizona, and the 2 big guys from Colorado are not here.
Yep.
I was not expecting them.
Is Scatterboo here?
I don't think he's here. DJ Giddens is here from Kansas State. Could be a Cowboy.
Shiloh here.
We talked about
Shiloh is here.
Right.
Shiloh is here. I said the big guys. Shiloh got the big name, but he's not
a big guy.
Big guy.
That just asked the question.
Clarence Hill, Joe Hoyt, Jacques Taylor. I am Newy Scruggs. Micah Parsons' contract has been a topic of conversation on social media.
Some people need to quit trying to break news.
Most trusted, you're a Micah guy. Micah's about to have you on the podcast sooner or later.
He's, we got to talk about that. We got to renegotiate my terms.
Okay. Has there been any negotiation with Micah and the Cowboys and you with Micah?
There's been talk.
So what we got? What I need to know. Most trusted.
yesterday, some things started bubbling up on social media because Micah's brother's very active. You know, a few days ago, he was battling with a dude from Philadelphia and going back and forth and cursing and all. Then he posted a picture of his daughter. He's a great dad. Then yesterday, he started posting about, something brewing with Mike and the Cowboys.
And he posted about the D-Law, too. He posted his brother was into that, too.
Oh, yeah. That was way last.
That went without saying.
That was way last week.
He stayed busy.
That was way last week. So, anyway, he inferred or intimated that things were brewing with Mike and the Cowboys, that something was close to getting done and all of the stuff. And so I ran up the flagpole, and I got to know. Okay. And so Jane, running up the flagpole, and she got to know, and so
Michael Leslie ran up the flagpole.
See, but
we said we talked the most trusted.
Okay. But the bottom line is, nothing's happening, but doesn't mean nothing won't happen, because I think the Cowboys are going to get it done. The problem with the Cowboys is, as we've talked about, they keep waiting. They've waited and they waited and they waited. They've let the market jump and jump and jump again. And I know we talked, Joe, we talked this morning about this, and they waited in the past and they waited on CD, and it could happen in training camp. To me, the difference with CD is CD was waiting for Justin Jefferson's contract to get done. Steve and I was talking about take two to tango. Well, CD and his agent weren't tangoing until Justin Jefferson's contract got done. Now, they didn't have to wait another 3 months after that, but they were waiting for that. There's nothing stopping the Cowboys from negotiating and getting a deal done with Micah Parsons. They should have got it done. They should have got ahead of the curve.
Last year?
Last month, before, the market was reset again and again and again. 3 times, Crosby, Garrett, and now Jamar Chase. And it's not just about being the highest paid defender. It's also about being the highest paid non-quarterback. Which is all on the table for Mike and his agent, who never takes L's.
No, he's a bad man. He takes no L's.
No, he cooks.
He got a number of KOs.
He's good.
So get it done. I mean, there's nothing stopping him from getting it done. Micah says he wants to get it done. He wants to be at OTAs. I mean, he wants to be a part of that. He wants to be. He promises he's going to be here. If he doesn't have a contract done, he shouldn't be here, because you don't want to get injured in a fluke injury at a workout and cost yourself money.
And I think
business thing at that point.
Yeah, and I think one thing I want to dispel too is it does take 2 to tango, right? But no other team in the NFL, maybe the Bengals, and they paid the price for it, takes as long to tango than the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you look at around and players are signing deals. Derek Stingley, he signs a nice 3-year deal, right?
Who was his agent?
David Mulugeta. And the reason why they get that deal done good for both sides is it allows the Texans to have flexibility. It allows them to lock up Derek Stingley, a guy who's been a premier corner, for the long haul. And it also allows Derek Stingley to get back to the negotiating table early and go renegotiate again. And I think one thing maybe I'm just too online, I saw it on social media, but they're like, well, they want to hold the Cowboys to the very end because that's when they can strike. No, players don't turn down early money. Why would they want to do that? Hey, this is not a situation that happens anywhere else aside from Cincinnati, and I don't know if that's kind of the team you want to be in the same group with.
At the end of the day,
did they go in?
The money is going to be the money in terms of he's going to sign it. I mean, just like Myles Garrett, trade me. I want to win Super Bowl.
Yeah,
here's $40 million. Oh, yeah, Super Bowls are fine, but I'm going to be here, so I get it. Now, one thing I'll say this about Cincinnati, which I totally don't understand. Why are you signing T. Higgins and letting Trey Hendrickson walk out the door? Why? I mean, to me, if I got the receiver, I got defense, I can go shake a tree and find another receiver. I will go do that. That's the scouting department. Go find me another receiver. But to find another defensive player like that,
because Joe Burrow wanted both of them. And he also wants Trey, and they're actually negotiating with Trey now.
But will they get that done?
I don't know. Well, they're not trading him. They're certainly people have asked. They're not trading him at this point, and so they're negotiating with trying to get a deal done with Trey. And Trey's gonna want Max Crosby money. He's gonna want Micah Parsons money. He's gonna want Myles Garrett money. He's gonna want T.J. Watt money because he's been that type of player for them.
I just look over just my philosophy overall. 2 wide receivers are nice, scoring a lot of points, but in that division, oh, by the way, there's some guy named Lamar Jackson there. I've got to be able to get to him. Give me the pass rusher, a number 1 receiver. I'll go and find and do what I can to get a number 2. Find me a Puka. That's the scouting department. Go get us Puka. Puka 2.0.
Puka who?
Puka Nakua. Puka's so good, they said goodbye to Cooper.
No, and they went and got Devontae. I don't know. They said goodbye to Cooper because Cooper had fell off. Not because Cooper was so good. But
Puka also allowed them to go, hey, we going to go. You go find a guy. That's the ultimate thing. You can go find a guy before I pay that kind of money.
I would say in Cincinnati's defense that offense and them receivers helped me get to a Super Bowl, which Lamar Jackson has yet to get to.
It also helped them go, 7-10 last year or however they did because they could not stop anyone?
They're going to use the draft to improve the defense.
But there's not a Trey Hendrickson, I don't think, at defensive end.
No, I think, but like at this point, they're trying to re-sign Trey. And they need help, certainly. But, their formula, not our formula. More than one way to skin a cat. But they want to keep their offense strong. Make what's strong, strong. Keep what's strong, strong. And improve the other areas. But keep what's strong, strong.
Okay. And try to win some games before October.
Yeah.
Back to the Cowboys. Speaking of Trey Hendrickson, you're talking about impact players. And, all right, you want to sign Micah Parsons. What else do they need to do now that they've tried to fill a couple of holes? Do you still feel needs to be helping defensive tackle, defensive line? I mean, are you happy? Where else are you saying, hey, go fix this? They tried to trade for a quarterback. What are we thinking here? Most trusted?
The question is, like I said, they made a lot of moves, but are they better?
Yes.
And I don't know if they're appreciably better than they were in the last season. You sign Fowler and but you losing DeMarcus Lawrence. And so you sign or you trade for some linebackers, but you're losing Eric Kendricks. I don't think the two linebackers they got were better than Eric Kendricks.
I don't think so either.
And so you trade for a cornerback, but you lose Jordan Lewis, and you still don't know if Trevon Diggs is going to feel. Are you better? And so what can you do to get better? You let Brandon Cooks go in free agency. You sign Paris Campbell. He's not better than Brandon Cooks. Not at this age, not at any age.
Jaden Tote.
And he has been more productive than Jaden Tote, right? And so, are you better? You let Rico Dowdell go. You signed two running backs. They were not more productive than Rico last year, And so you still have work to do, And there's so much talk about whether you should go get another receiver. I think you still need to shore up the defensive line. You basically got one backup, and Solomon Thomas, okay, and he's a backup 3 technique. You really have no backup 1 technique. And you still need numbers there. I guess you're going to play with the linebackers you have. But cornerback, receiver, those are still places you could use help.
Slot corner is the big one for me. And, I like the idea of, potentially having, Kalen Carson and Izzy McQuam. I like them competing, but we've also have not seen enough from them in training camp to suggest that, those are locked down. You can have that. That's great. The fact that they haven't addressed slot corner externally makes me wonder if a guy like Jahdae Barron could be in play at 12 for them. And I know he's got short arms, but I think in the slot it's less valuable. I know Eberflus wants long arm guys, but that's kind of the one wild card I think for the Cowboys. For me personally, is you maybe sneak in a Jahdae Barron at 12.
Yeah, and you still got Asante Samuel and some other guys out there in free agency that you could that could play the slot. Asante Samuel Jr. Senior.
When we come back,
he's there too.
He been there.
Think about this, guys. Think deep. What's the one position group on this Cowboy roster right now that you say, okay, I can roll with that? Let's do that next, right here on the Media Mash. DallasCowboys.com is what you're listening to right now.
It's gonna be.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, Crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry. Even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash with your favorite beat writers here, all giving you the scoop on the Dallas Cowboys. Clarence Hill, Joe Hoyt, Jock Taylor, I'm merely Newy Scruggs as we carry out our final block of work here. Big 12 having their pro day today, tomorrow, Friday, over at the Star in Frisco. Clarence, you got you and Joe got the Media Day badges?
I'm going to get mine.
Okay. There you go. Pro Day.
I'm going to get mine.
We got the Scout one.
Oh.
Say what's up to my guy, Brett Yormark, Commissioner of Big 12.
He was looking sharp.
Always looking good. So.
Except we had to hand Texas that Big 12 championship trophy. He wasn't looking good that day. Wow. Was not looking good that day. AT&T Stadium when he's getting boo. Go boy.
He didn't mind it.
Yeah, he minded it. He minded it.
You guys made money for the conference.
And we said, bye-bye.
That's right, but you had to leave him that check.
Yeah,
so leave him that check. I know who didn't have him a trophy. Greg Sankey.
Oh. This is North Carolina. Now we got it. Don't do this.
Now we got to go reach over. Can we stay right here in the stadium?
Don't do this.
Can we stay in the stadium? Stay right there.
Don't do this.
You started this. What's the one position group that we feel good about for the Dallas Cowboys? Joe, can we start with you?
I've been thinking about it.
It ain't the point guard of Carolina basketball.
They won last night.
That's right. They win on Friday.
Big.
It was a lot of energy for a first four win, but that's neither here nor
there. A lot of energy for a first four.
A lot of energy for a first four.
Because there was a lot of folks out there hating.
Well, they was telling the truth.
No, hey.
You can't hate on the 71st team getting in the 68th tournament.
I know this is big.
We was first four out. First four out. So you know.
Hey, it's no.
But we look at genetic territory.
Merit.
We look at
merit-based.
That was nothing about merit-based. When your AD is on the committee.
It was merit-based.
But he was not in those meetings.
He was in all the other meetings.
I was not in those meetings. Those other commissioners.
That was all his other boys. They was eating dinner together before the meeting.
Wasn't in the room.
That's all right. People kind of tend to take care of their boy. They took care of their boy.
Yeah.
Ain't the first time this has happened. Anyway, Joe, the position group.
It's got to be edge. It's got to be edge rusher, right? I mean, you got Micah Parsons on one edge, and you got a guy who had 10 sacks on the other, who you know pretty well and can get after the quarterback.
Got Peyton Turner too.
You got a guy in Micah Parsons and a guy on the edge.
Got Sam Williams too.
And you do have Sam Williams coming back.
Off a knee injury.
I think edge rusher is the best one, but I'll be honest, that question kind of got me thinking. Like I had to think pretty deep. I was like, maybe safety, maybe.
Dante Fowler on his fourth team in 4 years.
I know, but he can still get after the quarterback.
Yes.
So who you got? What position group?
Specialists.
You stole my group. You dirty dog.
Devontae Turner looked good back there. Brian Anger. And let's not even talk about the kicker.
You stole my.
That boy's cold.
And
Butter.
And the deep
boy is cold.
You
deep
stole.
snapper good. He perfect.
You stole my group.
The specialists.
That boy is good.
World on this team. That might be the best. That might be the best quartet in the National Football League.
It is.
Special teams, yeah.
No cap.
Stole my group. Since you said group, stole my group.
I didn't think you guys were going to be.
Hey man, you got about 60 years.
Stole my group.
That was low hanging fruit. I wasn't going to go there. I tried to challenge myself.
Because I was struggling, because you can say that I don't think there's.
Is it quarterback because he got one?
No, you just got one.
I thought about it.
You
Coming
can't
off an
say
injury.
quarterback. You can't say running back. You can't say receiver because it's still sitting a bunch of maybes. You can't say tackle or guard because you have questions. You know, defensive line. I mean, I hear you with the edge rushers because you signed Dante Fowler, but you still have questions at behind them.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm going like specifically just.
Yeah, you still got questions behind the edges though. I mean, you know, there's still some unproven things. You know, I was going to look at safety as well. I think they're solid.
Solid at safety.
They know difference makers at safety though.
So you don't feel good about any spot outside specialists, which means this is not a positive for the Cowboys, right?
I mean, I guess I feel good about the safety group.
Now, sport is fluid. We could change our opinion in a month when the draft come in and take this guy and that guy. Say, oh, okay, I see what you're doing now.
Yeah, you put Ashton Jennings in front of them two running backs. I like the running back group.
Okay.
You put Ted McMillan at wide receiver, and
Yeah.
that could work at receiver.
In a month, it could change. Okay, next in April it could change. Okay, but right now this you have questions. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough.
And not nearly enough answers.
Yeah.
Because I heard this theory the other day. It's a completely false theory. They threw a lot of bodies. They got a lot of people. Some of these guys will hit. You know, whether it's the linebacker, what's his name, Kenneth from Oklahoma. Some of these guys will hit. No. That's like flipping a coin 100 times saying 50 should come up heads. No, it's not due. It's either every one is a 50-50 shot. So you don't have to get any of these right. Now, you could hit on all of them. That ain't going to happen. But you could not hit on all of them.
Okay.
That's much more likely.
The more questions you have, the more chances you have for things to go wrong.
Yeah, because and that's what I like. Like, what can you say? Yeah, we ain't got to worry about that. Not a lot, bro.
And I guess what does hit on mean? You know, because I think they can play with the linebackers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, based on what they have on the roster, you can play with the linebackers. I don't think anybody ever thought Jack was an all-pro linebacker. And but he knows the system. He's a solid linebacker. And Murray certainly has been on his third team. And
we talking, here's the question, as best you can answer. We talking average or above average?
How about
I think it can be average.
Can you have Eric Kendrick's impact, where he knew Zimmer's defense, knew what to do, and he was able to come in here and play? Can you get that level?
If
you get that level, that's doable.
And the funny thing about it is that Eric Kendrick's impact, yes, he knew the defense. He was able to come in and play. They still have one of the worst run defenses in the league.
Because you're up front, you're still not getting it done. So, yes.
Exactly.
The back don't work without the front.
Yes, so I don't.
So they still need to work on it.
So what kind of impact did Eric Kendrick really have is my point.
He was a solid starter.
For a bad defense.
Exactly. Yeah, solid starter.
Somebody got
on a bad defense.
I know.
Somebody got to score 20 points on the worst NBA team in the league.
Yeah, somebody's a solid start on a bad
Bradley
defense.
Beal.
You know,
Danny
right.
Stafford.
Right.
Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes.
Somebody got to do that.
That's what I said. You know, beware of the elite score on a bad team. I said this yesterday. You know, but so how big a impact did Kendricks really have is my point. Other than him knowing Zimmer's defense, it wasn't no difference making defense. He didn't make no difference. He just a guy that knew where the bodies were buried on the defense.
Okay. Hey, look, that's fine. I hear you on that. Why are we talking about, when you got a bad defense, why are we praising some guy there? It's like the Tank Lawrence things I've told people. Everybody, Tank's gone. Like, I'm sorry. He's a good run stopper. How much run were they stopping against good teams? So, okay.
Right. And again, he didn't play last year, much of the year. When he did play, they didn't stop nobody.
No, you're correct. You are correct. And even the year before, you get put out by the Packers in the playoffs. They're running up and down on the field on you. And then the year before that, same old thing. So it's been a problem around here, which that's where you go, all right, at number 12, do you not go and try to find somebody to put up there in the middle? And even if you trade down.
Not at number 12, because what did you just say? Can you go up there and try and find? I ain't trying to find nobody. We taking the best guy there. We didn't have enough bust there.
Yeah, I think they're also putting themselves in a position where they need to hit on this somewhat. Like, it can't be a miss at 12.
It can't be the last 2 years.
No, it needs to be someone who at least.
Well, see, let me ask you this question. Do you like Will Johnson?
Personally, I think the drop-off's a little concerning.
See, I don't like him.
He went to Michigan as well.
No.
I know.
He was terrific as a junior, but
I don't like his toe thing. I've been scarred from corners with toes.
Why you talking about Deion?
Well, he's part of it. But, that's the whole thing is built off of that. And if it's...
Well, if Will Johnson can have Deion's career and then get his toe amputated, the Cowboys will take it.
Well, Deion got his toe amputated
later.
Not at the beginning.
Later.
Deion hurt his toe in 98.
After
99.
After he won 2 Super Bowls.
Then he become 9-toed, the Cowboys will take it.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want
you don't want to come out
ahead
of the draft. But it's one thing I talked about earlier as well. I think that after taking a tackle, then an offensive tackle, then a defensive tackle, then offensive tackle, that Mr. Jerry Jones won't sizzle.
Agreed.
In a ho-hum offseason when you don't really have excitement surrounding the head coach, you haven't done a lot of exciting things in free agency, you got to sell something to the fan base. And I see a skilled player being taken with a 12 overall
fantasy
pick.
Football pick.
Yeah.
What I call it.
Yeah.
Somebody who can put on your fantasy football team.
Yeah, that you can sell to the fans can get excited about. You can't get excited about no defensive tackle or no offensive tackle or no guard.
Nah.
The problem is, though, they need an instant impact guy there, and you can't miss, right? But this is also a draft where there isn't that at 12. Normally, there would be that at 12, I think. You could have a skill player go there. You could have that sizzle that's right there. It seems more and more that Ashton Jeanty won't be there.
Yeah, because if Ashton falls, they better run. It'd be like, Cowboys on the clock.
Sir, San Francisco's on the clock. No.
So San Francisco. It better be written down. Because as soon as he starts falling, and if he doesn't go to the Bears, and he don't go to the Raiders, then y'all better have a name written right there in case San Francisco, and like I said, they got a running back. They might not take it.
San Francisco won't do it.
Okay, then the Cowboys, if he gets past the Bears, they better start writing the name, and they better start getting Frisco High School and bringing a Frisco School.
There's a lot of Frisco High School.
Bring the homeboy hometown.
I think the Bears got to take an offensive tackle. I don't care what else they
just rebuilt the offensive line in free agency.
I'm sorry, no, you still need to. You've got that kid there. You need to add more to that.
To me, it's the Raiders, the Bears, or the Cowboys.
Okay.
If the Raiders don't take him and the Bears don't take him, then just catch a falling star.
Okay.
Put it in your pocket.
All right, gentlemen, it's fun. Most trusted, Clarence Hill, Joe Hoyt, his running mate, Jacques Taylor, the freelancer, here on time.
I'm not a freelancer. I'm a business owner.
Exactly. He told you.
Freemason.
He told you.
Freelancer. Free agent.
He told you.
I'm Newy Scruggs. For Chris Beam, Jazz, Josh, everybody makes it happen here. This is DallasCowboys.com. Talk to you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!